of the cannon soldier, Yasuoka sent a new mark bearer, Daimon, to the mansion. He talks about a mysterious being called the cannon soldier he learned about from clinical records during World War II. Those documents also mention a scar similar to the mark. Everyone who had it worked in a specific army research facility. They were developing the cannon soldier there at the end of the war. I don't really know what the cannon soldier is, but if everyone involved in the research got the mark, then I can't help but think they were trying to make a spirit into a weapon. But why would Daimon, grandson of a researcher, and Hito, granddaughter of a lab engineer, suddenly get the mark now? Did the soldier's curse spread to the descendants or something? And then there's the 13th Army Engineering Lab. Hito agrees to tell us more about it. Her old map is of that lab, the same underground shelter we broke into earlier. The key to Zukawa's transformation and the stolen statue is likely there, so we'll have to go back again. The map shows another entrance on M. South Alley. Let's try looking around there this time. We reach M. South Alley. Like the North Road, it's silent and empty. The map doesn't specify the location of the entrance, just that it's here. We'll have to search for it. There's a manhole. Unlike Kei Miyamachi, this road has only one. I'm sure this is the place. The manhole lid has a place to grip it, just like the one at Kei Miyamachi. This has to be it. Still, this is strange. Why doesn't the public have any idea about this underground shelter? You'd think the sewer department would at least. How the hell should I know? It was probably hushed up so those involved didn't get in trouble. They supposedly performed some terrible experiments in there after all. Does she sound kind of excited? I bet the terrible experiments fascinate her. When I lift the lid, a musty smell greets me. Ugh, this smells familiar. Like the other entrance, the hole goes deep. Thankfully, there's a ladder here too. Alright, time to go down. Go ahead, Mr. Ichigo. Hito and I descend into the dark world, hidden beneath H City. What awaits us down in the darkness? Will we find the truth we're seeking? Or a hell smeared with blood? The sight that greets us at the bottom of this is the same as what we saw at Kei Miyamachi. The looming concrete walls and the suffocating stagnant air. We weren't wrong to assume that the two places are connected. So, this is the engineering lab. It's even more dreary than I expected. Wait, do you hear a sound? If it's not some kind of prank, then maybe the spirits of the soldiers are wandering around and singing. You have no proof of that. It's entirely unscientific. Shut up about that crap. Sorry. Still, it's a little unsettling to hear an army song all the way down here. It's gotta be a supernatural phenomenon. When I step in the view of an iron door that appears before me, the air clearly shifts. Goosebumps rise. A presence is approaching. There's an incessant beeping, like from a telegraph. I shrug and keep moving forward. The beeping becomes gradually louder, almost as if it's trying to tell me something. The sequence just keeps repeating. This code, what in the world does it mean? I hear a quiet voice. Point to your soul. The beeping suddenly stops. Hiro seems terrified. Hey, Hiro, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine, obviously. She's acting different than usual. Let's go. I think it's fine now. Understood. The air in this room is musty. At first glance, I'd say it's a part of a medical facility. This is an operating room. And the smell? Thought so. There it is. Shine the light over there for a second. I shine a flashlight as directed and find a corpse. Hiro crouches down and begins to study it. Usually Hiro would be terrified, but at least for now, she's fine. So you're fine with stuff like that? What? We all have organs and bones inside us, don't we? Only an idiot would be scared of them. Hiro skillfully examines the body. When they're done, they stand up again. To be blunt, the corpse is odd. What really draws the eyes is that the cervical vertebrae has been severed, but the cut isn't normal. It's like it's notched. The only thing I can think of is that it was cut with a non-surgical tool. I have no idea why anyone would do something that cruel, though. In any case, it's clear that the head was purposefully severed. The head was severed with a tool, huh? The corpse is too old to tell everything. There should be a clue nearby. It'd be best to search the room. Yeah, good idea. In the lab, the research lab looks more like an operating room. The state it's in suggests that inhuman experiments took place here. I'd really like to leave this place, but we need to thoroughly check for any documents or tools left behind. Hatreds clog in the area, making it more dangerous than any of the other places we've been. We could be attacked by any time. We must be prepared. It's a cabinet with a glass door. I open it and search all around. I found bells attached to a handle and a notebook with a black cover. It's titled Disposal VAT MGMT Record. I flip the cover open. Dispose 200 super dimensions, suddenly our door half spiritualized. Hypothesize focus mystical forces need sacred objects to erase. Safety valve release code diamond. There's nothing else written. Got Kagoda Suzubel's disposal.mgmt record. What in the world are those notes going on about? Disposal, half spiritualization. I don't understand half of these words. Plus, those spells I found don't fit this place at all. I closed the notebook and put it in my bag. Just then, something tangles around my hand. Huh? It's a thin thread. It seems to be human hair. It glitters pale gold in the light. What? The mark starts sucking up at my blood. I ignore it and instead stare at the shining hair, as if being pulled in. It's odd, but I get the real feeling that this moment, no, it's here, this place. I've been here before. The mark color grows more vivid. Early dawn, a few hours left until death closes in. Someone mumbles right next to me. Wait. That's not someone else. That's my own voice. As I thought, it's here. The words pour out of from deep inside. I have absolutely no knowledge or control over them. Memories that aren't mine, words and feelings I couldn't possibly know are falling from my lips. Check the disposal vat. They must be behind the wall. Felt weird when standing in front of that wall. Huh? Wait. Mr. Irisu? What are you talking about? The instant Hito speaks, the voice stops. It's nothing. I just remembered something important. You sure you're okay? You were mumbling some strange things. I'm fine, really. Just spaced out for a little. For better or worse, Hito didn't clearly hear what I was saying. Still though, that voice. Could it be that my old self, the one I lost along with my memories, was talking to me? The feeling I got when I saw that golden hair, maybe that's what triggered it. I haven't heard that other guiding voice for a while now. I guess all I can do is rely on my old self. The disposal vat beyond the wall. The voice said to find that. In lab number 1, we find documents and a Kagoda Suzu bell in the cabinet. The files say something odd. Spiritualize the door. Release with sacred object. The Kagoda Suzu bell is probably considered one. We also learned the safety valve relay's password is diamond. I'm bothered by a thin blonde hair found between the pages. The moment I wonder if a foreigner was there. Unconscious memories. I hear a voice saying, check the disposal vat. What the? It's not the usual whisper in my ear. It's my own voice. I have no control over my mouth as it moves on its own. Are the fragments of my memory causing this? It keeps going. It's probably behind that wall. So weird. It's like I have some special power. I open the wire mesh door and peek inside, but I don't see anything. I go to close the door and see a paper stuck on the backside. I peek into the waterway and see something floating. I reach for it as I hold onto the edge. Somehow, I manage to grab it. On a worn-out talisman. Set up the same way as that operating room. This place may have been used for the same experiments. There might be records left behind. Let's look. It's a rusted filing cabinet. When I open the door, a cloud of dust flies up and blocks my vision. A notebook with a black cover is left inside. Got experimental unit correspondence code. Experimental unit correspondence code. It seems to be a document about cryptograms. Inside it says Canon, weapons code name. Heavenly Buddha, project's code name. Soul, human hands used as materials. It looks like Wabun code, but similar to Morse. It's a cabinet with a glass door. I open it and search inside. I find a notebook titled Research Records and a small gun. The notes have deteriorated, but I can just make out what they say. 17th experiment Asura statue connect male body and female head success. Then, at a natural phenomenon, spirit frequent hard continue experiments. That's all it says. Got research records too, and poem pistol. Notes on the experiments, huh? You'd better give it a read. Nothing's inside the metal cabinet. We go north at the intersection and an outline of a door is flickering faintly in the wall ahead of us. Hey, look at that. What? What impossible? Is it another ghost thing? You can't see it? See what? Looks like Hito can't see the door. That's the spiritual. My mouth begins mumbling words that I don't recognize all on its own. Oppose the spiritual with spiritual. If you touch it, with a tool that honors the gods. The flow of words out of my mouth stops. Touch it with a tool that honors the gods. Flickering half spirit door. There's a passage beyond the intersection that looks like a dead end. An iron door flickers in and out, and for whatever reason, I'm the only one who can see it. I can't believe this. Do I really have some sort of spiritual power? oppose the spiritual with the spiritual. So do I have to use a sacred object? Or maybe sacred objects are effective against spiritual beings. Better remember that. The outline of a door flickers in and out of the wall. I take out the Kagura Suzu now. It's just touching it, okay? No, have to... Strange words spill from my lips again. It's the priestess tool. If a man displays spiritual power, it'll be destroyed. So touch it silently. All I have is questions, but I have no choice but to trust the other me. I touch the bells to the door carefully, making sure not to make any noise. The next instant, the door physically appears. What? What has happened? What did you do? It just felt like it was the right thing to do. But I stare at the door. I sense an alarming presence. According to my own voice, if I can call it that, the disposal vat is beyond this door. I found some documents about it in the room with the operating table. It might be good to look through those. Let's be careful. That place is giving me a bad feeling. I push open the iron door and we head inside. Oh, what is this place? On the other side of the door is a large empty area reminiscent of a vault. Is this the disposal vat? It should be, but it's not quite what I expected. Oh, something's on the ground. A katana? Got rusted army sword. I take what Hiro picked up. I shine a flashlight around the area. Are these heads of Buddha statues? It doesn't seem like they're being stored. Is this some kind of garbage dump? Just then... Huh? A sound echoes of something heavy moving, and suddenly the room is lit with a pale light. What was that noise? Let's get out of here for now. I try to open the door to get out, but... What? It's locked. What? We've been locked in? A cutting coldness invades and envelops my feet. My hand snaps up and I see water pouring into the room like a giant waterfall. Water? It's ice cold. A polar bear swim is not something I ever wanted to do. It quickly rises to our knees. I can't even feel my feet anymore. Water underground? Hurry up and open the door. We got hypothermia. I have to remember. What was written in those documents about the disposal vat? All I see near me are the Buddha heads. I touch the diamond at heart ahead. There's a heavy shudder and the sound of movement. Then, the pooling water suddenly starts sweeping in one direction, down into a pit. Whoa! When I open my eyes, all I see is darkness. Ah. I quickly lift my hand and rub my eyes. My vision slowly comes back. This is an intersection in the underground shelter. Looks like we were drained out of the water and flushed down a pipe. We were lucky. I very nearly breathed out a sigh of relief, but then I remembered Hiro. That's right, where's Hiro? No need to be so worried. Huh, so it's you. It's been a while, you sneaky intruder. Is that old man I met in the passageway beneath Manhole Street? I tried to ask him about Hiro, but... My jaw is nearly locked and my voice is gone. Don't try to talk to us yet. The water here comes straight from the Timon Range, so it's deadly cold. You were submerged in it for near an hour, so I'll be slurring your words for a while. Relax, your friend's fine. So you, got somewhere to go back to? Huh? I nod as I groan. The old man's face brightened like the sun. Well, that's great. But I'm demanding a reward for saving you or anything. But I'm pretty darn hungry. The man eyes me. He smiled sharp. We get in a car, and even though it's the wrong season for it, I turn the heat on full blast. We dry off with towels and the like, but it doesn't stop our shivering for a long time. While this is going on, the old man... Ooh, it's hot. Can I open a window? He's blatantly fanning himself in front of us. Okay, yes, in a way we owe him our lives, but even so, he's being a pain. Hang in there a little while longer. Hiro shudders. We're about to freeze, you know. It was an honest question, and it probably sucks for him, but we still keep the car like a sauna. After driving like that for a while, our teeth finally stopped chattering. The man's name is Danshi Ito. That's how he introduced himself. But that obviously isn't his real name. As he sits next to me, Banshee gives off a savory smell like freshly baked bread. It kind of cheers me up, or at least it does for a few moments until I realize it's the stench of dried filth. So, Banshee, what were you doing in a place like that? Banshee remained silent. Are you listening to me? Don't feel up to talking yet. I'll tell you in exchange for food. I shouldn't be surprised. Life's rough. Wait, that should be my question. What were you two doing down there? It's a long story. I summarize everything we know about spirits and the mark until I catch up to when we met him in the underground shelter. So that's how it is, huh? He nods vigorously to himself. Do you really understand any of that? Hiro's doubts are reasonable, but Banshee waves a hand dismissively. Of course I do. Who do you think I am? A terrible grudge is making up that underground shelter. And you guys are wrapped up in it now. His story suddenly sounds fishy. A grudge. Banshee, do you know what happened down there? I said I'm not talking about that yet. I was born into a noble family, so I've always had the ability to see things others can't. Stake my name, Banshee Ito on it, so you can trust me. There's a terrible grudge swirling there, and you've gotten swept up in it. He's got nothing to base his claims on, but I get the feeling he's on the right track. In that case, oh noble Lord Banshee, would you tell us? How do we overcome that whirlpool? Banshee replies with a magnanimous flourish. That should be obvious. Whirlpools always have a center. You've got to find that. The center. That swirling grunge and the spirit thing? Is that what you called it? The birth of the spirit. The heart of the curse. Something like that should be left within their swirling grudge. If you look for that, I'm sure then he trails off. He gazes at the dark road, his mouth hanging open. It's like he has run out of batteries. Then what? What will happen? The black sky simply goes on forever before Banshee's eyes. Oh, that reminds me, Ichigo. Banshee calls out as soon as we enter the garage. Take this, just a little symbol of our friendship. Got underground shelter key. Is this the key for the underground shelter? I found it when I was popping in and out from that place. I held onto it. But I lend it to you for now, Ichigo. He just picked it up. Why is he acting like it's a favor? But I have no reason to refuse him. Thanks, I'll borrow it. Diamond walks up to us. Hey, you came back safely. Were you able to learn anything? Hito butts in before I can speak. Wait just a minute. Don't tell me. You aren't going to believe that old man's story, are you? He's fishy. Whoa, that's rude. If you want my opinion, a snotty punk like you should be trusted even less. Of course, Ichigo. You believe me, right? That's my good pal Ichigo for you. Hey now, you feeling okay in the end? Anyway, changing the subject. Good grief, can we just move on from talking about this? Banshee, you were hungry, right? The dining room should have something. Ooh, food! Banshee bolts out of the garage and vanishes into the mansion. Daimon gives me an exasperated look. Ichigo, it seems you have got another troublemaker on your hands. To appease the starving Banshee, I offer him some cup noodles and sweet buns. The epitome of hunger, he greedily begins scarfing it down like a starving dog. That was enough for 10 people. He devours all of it, and I'm reminded of a high-power vacuum cleaner.
Excellent!
I haven't been this full in forever. Good for you. Now answer the questions. What were you doing down there? Well, that's an easy one. Because it's my home. What? Been living there ever since I found it 10 years ago. It's not too shabby a place. keeps me out of the rain and no damn rats messing with me. Though it gets on my cold in winter. I don't know how to respond to that. Hiro and Daimon seems to be the same. It was a paradise for me because no one knows about it. Until a weirdo shows up 6 months ago. Some woman doused in perfume. It was winter and I don't like stirring up trouble, so I just stayed away. That must have been Suzuka. I nod. That is my thought as well. That was a month ago. I figured she must have up and left, so I went back. But now there's something stranger. Which was? A damn walking Buddha statue. I know I'm pretty out there, but even I was shocked by that. I even got this weird scar. Banshee removes his scarf, revealing the mark on his neck. You may not believe this, but that statue gave you that scar. I figured he was the cannon soldier after all. The cannon soldier? How do you know the name? Some documents I so had it. It was no plan to make a Buddha statue move with supernatural powers. A heavenly Buddha project weapon. Are you nuts? Spirit powers making something move? That's insane. No, Hiro, calm down. So those documents that you found, are they still around? Yep, I burned them for warmth. I had a delicious roasted potato too. How could you? Maybe take your own advice, Dr. Damon. Our measure of common sense seems to be rather different than this strange old man's. It's fine, my noggin works different from most people's. We got it all memorized. As you say, just tell us. We need to know about that project. The Heavenly Buddha project was the pet project of some general at the end of the war, so they built that shelter for it. Ta-da! The 13th Army Engineering Lab. To make the cannon soldier thing, they did tests on Buddha statues. They were brought from some shrine or something somewhere. That must be H shrine. They did a bunch of stuff to infuse the statues with spiritual power. There was a monk from T-Mountain, spiritual treasures from all over, but nobody thought anything would actually come from it. The project was just an excuse to keep that fanatical general busy. At least, it was supposed to be. But one day, the statue started moving. It went berserk throughout the lab and went crazy on a ton of people. The bloodstains and old corpses in the shelter are probably the victims. Some people survived, but they had red bite-like marks on them. The thing went and wrecked the place then. It stopped and never moved again. No one knows what even triggered it. That's about everything it said. Hiro and Daimon are as white as a sheet. I probably am too. It's a hard story to believe, but he has no reason to lie to us. I think he speaks the truth. What? Are you kidding me? A statue going around killing people and cursing them? Impossible. Then how do you explain the mark on his neck? Logic would dictate that The moving statue he saw was the Kannan soldier. Oh. The dormant soldier suddenly starts moving after 50 years. That might be the cause of mine and Hido's marks. What if you flip that though? Both of your grandpas got the mark from the Kannan soldier. When the soldiers stopped moving, their marks disappeared. But with it started up again, you got them because you're their descendants. If that's true, then the children inherited their parents' fate. Hido can seem to muster up any kind of counter-argument. I think she's in shock. I want to ask you something, old man. You say the Kannan soldier stopped moving 50 years ago. But why? I think it was some spiritual person used a thing demand or do something. So you have no idea. It's the most important part. Try to remember. It's not that easy, son. The mark might have made me forget. Taking his age into account, it's more likely he just completely slipped his mind. It seems we must defeat that Kannan soldier to be free of our marks. We'll have to figure out on our own if he can't be of more help. You seem a pro at this, Ichigo. We'll be relying on you. I don't have spiritual powers or anything. But you've already faced down 4 different spirits, haven't you? A normal person wouldn't have survived. Now that he says that, I guess he's right. I have been hearing a mysterious voice a few times and having weird premonitions. I even caught myself unconsciously talking when we were down in the shelter. So, what are you folks gonna do now? Good question. Let's investigate the soldier in the shelter. We'll need to do something about that to get rid of our marks. If I'm descended from someone on the project, then mine might disappear too. I guess we're going back in then. Hido's still kind of sulking, but she's at least recovered from her shock. We all share the same fate. It's too late to try to run away. Yup, you should find it there. The heart of everything that's causing the curse. You need that to stop the Kannan soldier. That's what my gut's telling me. What are you going to do then? I'm full now, so I was gonna go take a nap in that pert nearby. I'll sit and wait until you fellas do something about the soldier. Wait just a minute, you old fart. Didn't we just say that it's too late to run away? Okay, I got it. Well, you folks did feed me, so I guess I can help you.